was watching Adam the Woo. Really impressed, that he left the feed store, took off, eventually left Florida and went to California. And I did that, and my video camera did not have a proper battery. So I could only plug it into the wall and record interiors only. So I was limited on what I could do when I was in Long Beach, California back in 2001. I left, I left around Christmas time. I left Denton. I got that thing right there. And I left and went out to Hollywood to basically study from other filmmakers that are very famous filmmakers. Drake Dormus was one of them. And I ran off, and I lived in Long Beach for, about a year, a little under a year, maybe like 9 months or so, until James Lipton found me and sucked me into New York. And Diane told me, she said, don't go, and all that stuff. So I ended up going to New York. Well, when I came back from New York, probably, 2003 or 4, I met a lady named Sarah and decided to get married. So I married her for about 4 years, and then about 5 years we moved to Fort Worth. Moved from Crowley, Texas to Fort Worth. This was me, after coming back from New York City and everything. And finally, after about, 6 years of marriage, she decided to leave me, and I was working at a telemarketing place. I was telemarketing for about almost 5 years, selling warranties at a place called Warrantech, and I decided to quit my job eventually. Now, I was still working at this point, which was 10 years ago. I had this channel right here. You can kind of see me. There's some stuff here. And I was working at this telemarketing place, and this was probably, around probably this time. This was my tester. I sent up a thing from a video game. Mine was on September 7th of 2010. That was my first ever YouTube video. And, I was using YouTube to store data, to store videos for the film. I wanted to make a movie called Bolt. It starts off with a skateboarder. And I uploaded this on, it said, Skate 3 user created video, wacky location, easy. I guess I did it with my PS3 or something. Or no, it was a PS2. Sorry, they didn't have. No, they did have PS3s. Yeah, I think they did. It was I think it was a PS3. I had 2 of them. I believe it was a PS3. And then this one was the very first video that I ever really kind of posted from my video camera on May 1st, 2011, under my Pigeon 1 account. And this is how it went out. You can see I'm still doing about the same thing that I was doing there. I'm on a PC. I still have that computer in my closet today. This is a lamp, very similar lamp that I used, very similar. Although this was in an apartment at White Settlement, Texas. And there I am. I had lost about 50 pounds. I was in the process of quitting my job at Warrantech. And that was it. It was about 32 seconds. You can clearly see a little scattered, playing around on my computer, just as I'm doing right now. And it seems like God doesn't love me always when it comes to these kinds of things. Because I go through a lot of repetition. I wanted to make this independent film called Bulb. It was about a telemarketer that his wife left him. He had 2 cats and lived in this apartment in White Settlement. Had these, kind of like these strange friends. I'm getting a message from, somebody. And, these strange friends that would, kind of come over. This girl, it was a girlfriend I had named Victoria, who, she decided to help me. She ended up marrying a drummer. I think now she's like a lesbian or something. I don't know. But at the time, we I like some of these photos too, that right here. At the time, you know, we decided, oh, well, you know, I'll, you know, pay you what I can, maybe, you know, you just show up at these are real kind of Orson Welles kind of things right here. You know, I'll pay you, you just show up at my apartment, and, you know, I'll start filming you, and gave her a little script. We kind of like read the script together. And, you know, eventually she married the other guy, and I was still on my own. So my mom got a hold of me. She was worried about me. I've been doing all these, you know, you can obviously see there's all these different type of episodes. I call them episodes. Had storyboards. An artist from Round Rock, which is close to Austin, decided to do the storyboards for it. And I had a script, and I sent the script out to Los Angeles. A friend of mine, Eric, you know, was associated with it. And then years later, after I got married, he told me to remove his name from the film. And it's been sitting here for quite a bit of time. And these are all dailies that you're looking at right here from the film. This was 10 years ago. It has music, you know, there's a breakdown scene. Let's see right here where I'm crying. Probably about my cats, you know. My cats were okay. It was just kind of, you know, there's emotional sequences in it. Me contemplating in front of the mirror, you know, like talking in front of the mirror, you know, things, you know. And this is like actually really a movie sitting on my YouTube channel, which was Pigeon Pigeon 1, which a lot of people don't even know about. Now, officially, I would probably say that this is really the first shot of Bolt right here. It's me listening to a Bob Dylan song, which happened 10 years ago. And I actually got 89 views on it, which was pretty good for this channel. And when you turn it up, this was back when YouTube owned it. So they didn't block the content, but they blocked the sound. You can clearly see there's no sound. Because I didn't know what they would do if I posted a Bob Dylan song. And that's me listening to a Bob Dylan song. And I'm just kind of listening to the song, and you can't hear anything. So there was no sound at all on that whatsoever. Right? Because God just loves me, right? So you can't hear anything. And I don't remember the Bob Dylan song that was playing. It was some song. I could recall it if I, you know, sat down for hours on end. But this was officially kind of my first official YouTube post that went on for about 3 minutes and 14 seconds for an independent film called Bulb, which sometimes I say it's Baby Unwanted Light Banished. It's kind of a crazy title on the little documentary of me just leaving my job and deciding to make this little movie in my apartment. This was May 1st, 2010. There's the pool. Live by a pool in White Settlement. A little cheap little apartment. There you can see the pool right here. There's the balcony. And it still had the Christmas lights on. The guy that owned the place was a big David Lynch fan. So he didn't care if I, you know, did what I did or whatever. He even let me borrow some of the movies and stuff from his office. You could go in his office and rent movies. Kind of not really rent movies. You could just kind of... Here's what the apartment looked like. Me kind of running around the apartment. Now I was using a Sony camera. A little Sony mini hand cam that I started off on. I had 2 cats. I lived with 2 cats by myself. There's me kind of just doing stuff. Real Richard Linklater. You know, you can't learn how to plow from a book kind of thing. I was about 100 and, at this point, I think I was maybe 170 pounds. I got down to about 145 pounds. I lost about 100 pounds. I was about 257. By the time I started making the film, I got down to about 220. The time the film kind of came to an end, I was about 145 pounds eventually. This is me removing some food from the refrigerator. Probably had been in there for a while, and I was kind of starting over and just didn't really like my life, you know, and I just decided to kind of clean out a few things. You see, this goes on for quite a bit of time. So you get the idea that the character's kind of in a process of moving or changing. Eventually I end up in Maine, the state of Maine, all the way up there by Canada. And you can kind of see there's a lot there. A movie is a lot to contend with. And this is kind of the script and the movie, kind of documentary of the movie, kind of, you know, showing my weight, you know, how much I weighed. I guess I was 139 right there. I got pretty skinny in the movie. I tried sticking a bulb in my mouth right here. And, you know, just to get attention. A guy named Hugh Richard Massey III had done a little commercial for it. Yeah, it has me like vlogging and talking and stuff like that. I just wanted to, you know, kind of show that today since I saw Adam the Woo's thing. This thing has been going on for, well, about 10 years. And also I wanted to this is when YouTube owned it. So Google did not own YouTube at this time. And so that's officially one of the ones, May 10th. But if you go back right here, that was kind of like a scene that I did. You'll see the very first one with this little computer is the first one with sound that's not computer, meaning that's not a video game. And it's May 1st of 2011, I guess. So I thought maybe it was 2010. When I go back over here, I guess I was a little wrong on the time. It just says exactly 10 years ago. So that was September 7th, 2010 is when that one went up. And that says episode 146. 146. Okay. So there's a reason why that says episode 146. Okay. Google has probably manipulated this to their advantage because it says episode 146. And episode 1 is like a year later. So it's like it time traveled. Because this is the very end of that thing. So I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I went through there and changed it myself. Regardless, the first one was in 2010. So we click on it right here. Okay. And that was a guy jumping off a cliff. And that was September 7th of 2010.